Welcome to Ottawa, the capital city of Canada. It stands on the south bank of the Ottawa River in the southern portion of southern Ontario. Parliament Hill, also known as The Hill, is an area of crown land on the southern banks of the Ottawa River. The Parliament buildings are three edifices arranged around three sides of Parliament Hill's centre lawn. The use and administration of the spaces within each building overseen by the speakers of each cabinet of the legislature. Its Gothic Revival suites of buildings is the home of the Parliament of Canada and has architectural elements of national symbolic importance. The center block has the Senate and Commons chambers and is fronted by the Peace Tower on the south facade, with the Library of Parliament at the building's rear. The east and west blocks each contain ministers' and senators' offices, as well as meeting rooms and other administrative spaces. The way the government in Canada works, the sovereign, currently Queen Elizabeth II, is primarily represented by the Governor-General of Canada, currently Julie Payette. The Prime Minister, currently Justin Trudeau, is the head of the government. The House of Commons of Canada is the lower chamber of the bicameral Parliament of Canada, along with the sovereign, represented by the Governor-General, and the Senate of Canada. The House of Commons comprises of 308 members, each of whom represents a single electoral district who are voted in by the citizens of Canada. Located on Parliament Hill, the Centennial Flame commemorates Canada's 100th anniversary of Confederation. The flame was first lit as a climax of the centennial celebrations on January 1st, 1967. The flame is fueled by natural gas and is surrounded by a fountain whose ledge contains the shields of Canada's 13 provinces and territories. The Library of Parliament is the main information repository and research resource for the Parliament of Canada. The main branch of the library sits at the rear of the center block on Parliament Hill and is the last untouched part of that larger building's original embodiment after it burned down in 1916. The library has been renovated a number of times since its construction in 1876, the last between 2002 and 2006. Though the form and decor remain essentially authentic. The building today serves as a Canadian icon and appears on the obverse of the Canadian $10 bill. Surrounding Parliament Hill are various statues depicting former monarchs, leaders of the Canadian government, and forefathers of Confederation. The Supreme Court of Canada is the highest court of Canada and is the final court of appeals in the Canadian justice system. The Supreme Court has 9 justices appointed by the Governor-General on recommendation by the Prime Minister. It's led by the Chief Justice of Canada and hears appeals from decisions rendered by various appellate courts, provincial, territorial, and federal. The Senate of Canada building is located in downtown Ottawa that serves as the temporary seat of the Senate of Canada. The building includes the temporary Senate chamber as well as some Senate offices and committee rooms. The building served as Ottawa's central railway station until 1966, and from 1966 to 2018, it was operated by the federal government as the Government Conference Centre. The Senate of Canada is the upper house of the Parliament of Canada. The Senate is modeled after the British House of Lords and consists of 105 members appointed by the Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister. Seats are assigned on a regional basis. Senators serve until they reach the mandatory retirement age of 75. Rideau Hall is the official residence in Ottawa of both the Canadian monarch and his or her representative, the Governor-General. It stands on an 88-acre estate at 1 Sussex Drive, with the main building consisting of approximately 175 rooms across 9,500 square meters and 25 outbuildings around the grounds. Rideau Hall's site lies outside the center of Ottawa, giving it the character of a private home. The Rideau Canal, also known unofficially as the Rideau Waterway, connects Ottawa to Lake Ontario and the St. Lawrence River in Kingston, Ontario. It is 202 kilometers or 126 miles in length. The name Rideau in French means curtain. It's derived from the curtain-like appearance of the Rideau River's twin waterfalls where they join the Ottawa River. The canal system uses sections of two rivers, the Rideau and the Category, as well as several lakes. The Rideau Canal is operated by Parks Canada. The canal was opened in 1832 as a precaution in case of war with the United States. It remains in use today primarily for pleasure boating, with most of its original sections intact. The locks on the system open for navigation in mid-May and close in mid-October. It is the oldest continuously operated canal system in North America, and in 2007 it was registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Started on January 18, 1972, a section of the Rideau Canal passes through central Ottawa, becomes officially the world's longest and second longest skating rink. The cleared length is 7.8 kilometers or 4.8 miles and has the equivalent surface area of 90 Olympic ice hockey rinks. The skateway is open 24 hours a day. The length of the season depends on the weather, but typically the Rideau Canal skateway opens in January and closes in March. Opened on June 12, 1912, Chateau Laurier is a 660,000 square foot hotel with 429 guest rooms located adjacent to Parliament buildings. The hotel is above the Rideau Canal locks and overlooks the Ottawa River. When the hotel opened, private rooms costed $2 a night. The hotel was designated a National Historic Site in 1980. In 1999, it was renamed the Fairmont Chateau Laurier after Canadian Pacific Hotels bought the American Fairmont hotel chain. The National War Memorial, titled The Response, is a tall granite memorial arch with accreted bronze sculptures, designed by Vernon March and first dedicated by King George VI in 1939. Originally built to commemorate the Canadians who died in the First World War. It was in 1982 rededicated to also include those killed in the Second World War and Korean War, and again in 2014 to add the dead from the Second Boer War and war in Afghanistan, as well as all Canadians killed in all conflicts, past and future. It now serves as a preeminent war memorial with 76 cenotaphs in Canada. In 2000, the tomb of the unknown soldier was added in front of the memorial and symbolizes the sacrifices made by all Canadians who have died or may yet die for their country. Since 1940, the National War Memorial is the site of the National Remembrance Day ceremony, organized every year by the Royal Canadian Legion for November 11th. Among with Canadian war veterans, the ceremony is attended by the Governor-General, sometimes members of the Canadian royal family, the Prime Minister, the Silver Cross Mother, representatives of the Canadian Armed Forces and Royal Canadian Mounted Police, members of the diplomatic corporations, and youth representatives. Some of these groups place wreaths at the foot of the War Memorial. The Canadian War Museum is the national museum on the country's military history. The 4.7 million square foot museum building is situated south of the Ottawa River. The museum serves as both an educational facility on Canadian military history, in addition to serving as a place of remembrance. The museum houses a number of exhibits and materials. The Royal Canadian Mint is a Crown corporation operating under the Royal Canadian Mint Act. The Mint produces all of Canada's circulation coins and manufactures circulation coins on behalf of other nations. The Mint also designs and manufactures precious and base metal collector coins, silver, gold, palladium, and platinum bulletin coins, medals, as well as medallions and tokens. The National Gallery of Canada is Canada's national art museum. The museum's building takes up 46,621 square meters, with 12,400 square meters of space used for exhibiting art, making the museum one of the largest art museums in North America by exhibition space. A Man is a bronze, stainless steel, and marble sculpture by the artist Louis Boras. The sculpture, which depicts a spider, is among the world's largest, measuring over 30 feet high and over 33 feet wide. It includes a sack containing 32 marble eggs. The Bank of Canada Museum, formerly known as the Canada's Currency Museum, opened in 1980 on the ground floor of the Bank of Canada building. The museum used to be the public face of the National Currency Collection, which contains over 100,000 currency-related artifacts from around the world. These include coins, banknotes, dies, plates, cash registers, wallets, and numeric medals. In 1826, Lieutenant Colonel John By of the Royal Engineers was sent from England to oversee the construction of the Rideau Canal system. In 1827, Colonel By used 160 pounds of revenue from property rents to build a market building with a courthouse behind it on George Street. Today, the market area still retains much of the flavor of its past. Since the 1840s, the Byward Market has served as one of the principal hubs of commerce, entertainment, and leisure activities located in a busy city. Thank you for watching the video, and if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to get notified on my next video. Please leave a comment if you have any suggestions of where we should go to next.